What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. We in these streets. We back in these streets, but we off today, so we in these chilling streets. So let's jump right into it. Y'all seen the game yesterday. If you're any kind of a Cowboys fan, you seen that crazy game yesterday, the overtime victory for the Cowboys over the Giants, 40-37. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little surprised with that. I called the game myself personally. I said it'd be Cowboys 28-17, 34-17. I felt like the Giants would play with them early, and then Cowboys would pull away in the second half. That totally didn't happen. Russell Wilson had a game he hasn't had since 2017, I believe. He hasn't threw for over 450 yards since 2017. So he had one of those games. I mean, I knew Malik Neighbors was going to get his. I didn't know it was going to get to that fact. And Wan'Dale Robinson, I definitely didn't think he was going to do that. And he had like 8 catches over 145. Malik Neighbors had over 100 yards receiving. So Cowboys got the dub. That's the main thing. You didn't want to start the season 0-2, especially with your new coach. You don't want to start 0-2 in the division. That would have been bad. And then your next game is against another NFC opponent. So going into, you got 3 straight games with NFC opponents, 2 division games. So you had to win that division game. You had to win that NFC game heading into Chicago. So just going to give my quick thoughts about it right quick. I got some stuff that I pulled up. Let's talk about the offense first. Offense, 40 points. They defense was giving it up like crazy. We'll talk about that, but the offense was able to keep coming back, keep churning. So Dak Prescott did his damn thing again. Over 360 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Big touchdowns, especially to George Pickens. I love to see that. I think Pickens had like 9 targets, 5 catches. Big touchdown. He had a big first down play on a slant play. And I like to continue to see more targets with him, continue to keep him involved. I said this should have been a George Pickens game so we can keep his mind right so he doesn't fall off the tracks, roll off the rails, and, but it looks like he's in a good place. He's saying all the right things right now, so that's a good thing for Cowboys land, that he's not getting major touches, but he still is getting targets. So he had 9 targets, so that's good. He tried to get a couple on the deep threat, and he keeps getting pass interference plays on that. So obviously you see that threat is working. CD did his damn thing again. Jake Ferguson had a solid game. CD made some critical catches. I know he had 1 big drop. Got to get those drops together, but he made some really good plays. I think especially on the 3rd down play. I think Devontae Turpin's okay, but continue to use Turpin. I like seeing Turpin. A lot of people are frustrated with the run game right now. Javonte Williams had 18 carries, 97 yards. Had a 30-yard touchdown run. I thought he had tough yards. We don't expect Javonte Williams to be some breakaway threat. He's not that guy. He's the guy that's going to churn the dirty yards. I remember Jason Garrett used to always say dirty yards. So he's getting the dirty yards, right? You take away that big run, I think he still had 17 carries for right around 68 yards. So not great, 4 yards a carry. Not great, but good enough for that game. Obviously, you want to be better, but when you look at that Giants front 7, which I said, the offensive line going against that Giants defensive line, that was going to be the key. You got a Dexter Lawrence, you got Thibodeau, you got the young kid Carter, Brian Burns. That's a good front 7, man. So that was going to be tough sledding anyway. So the fact that, you almost got 100 yards on that front, that's a pretty good front. And I said that was going to be the key. And the Giants, I said, were going to be more improved anyway this year. So this is not some same Giants team of old. Obviously, they got Dable as their coach, but I still feel like this is a Giants team that's tough, it's scrappy, and they have enough talent. Obviously, they need more talent on that offensive side of the ball, but in that passing game, that's a threat. Dallas shut down the run game. They really didn't do anything in the run. Scatterboo, I think he had a run for 24 yards. That's it. It was a big run. Got him inside. He almost scored a touchdown on that play. But other than that, he wasn't effective. He had like maybe 11 carries, I think, and it wasn't even 20 yards, like 22 yards. So he only averaged 2 yards a carry. Tracy, who I said was going to be neutralized, he had 5 carries for 15 yards, and he was a non-factor. It was basically the pass game. But staying on the offensive side of the ball with the Cowboys, first I want to talk about some Dak Prescott stats. He's playing some really good ball right now. Right now through week 2, per Pro Football Focus, 549 yards passing, third in the league, 89.9 grade. We don't trip on the grades, but it's second in the league, top notch. 88 passer rating, very good. 9 big-time throws, first. And he's thrown some really good throws this year. 28 first down passes. Second, I think they're number 1 in the league in first downs right now, the Cowboys are. Don't hold me to that, but I think they are. You can go check that. And 86.9 grade under pressure. That's second for the league as well. So Dak is playing some ball. If you didn't have Dak Prescott in that game, you don't probably win that game. So Dak is playing some really good football. He's playing some really good football. And, you know, as I said before, you want to see the run game. I mean, let's all talk about it real quick before we jump on the defense. I don't know what's going on with this Jaden Blue thing. We keep on hearing about consistency. I don't know. I know I want to see him. That's why you drafted him, for the speed element. And I just feel like the combo of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, that's not enough juice in that backfield to really put a fear in some teams. And I feel like that's what needs to happen with Dallas. Not having it all on Dak, because Dak is doing his damn thing, but continue to relieve the pressure. Javonte Williams gets you the tough yards. He's a tough inside the tackle ball carrier. That's what he does. But you need somebody that can stretch that field, quick screen passes. I don't know what Jaden Blue, if he don't know the playbook, he's not being consistent in practice, bringing it every day. I don't know what's going on with that, but I really want to see him. I feel like with that speed element combined with the Javonte Williams, I believe that opens up the offense even more. Takes less pressure off Dak, feeling like he always got to throw the ball to win the game. And it just makes the offensive line more settled when you can run the ball. Obviously, we just got bad news about Cooper Beebe's out 6 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain. That's tough, real tough. Seems like you can never get cohesion on this line because there's always an injury. But I like Brock Hoffman for the short term. I don't like him for the long term. I've always said I love Brock Hoffman as the backup. Don't like Brock Hoffman as the starter. But if you're having a Brock Hoffman in a 6 to 8 week window, I think you can survive that, because Brock Hoffman, I believe, is a very serviceable backup starter in short term. So as I said before, Dak made some really big plays. Brandon Aubrey should be the next one to get this contract now. Only thing I say about field goal kickers, man, they can be nasty for 3 or 4 years and all of a sudden they fall off the tracks. That's what we've seen. We've seen it time and time again with field goal kickers. Consistently good, and then all of a sudden they just fall off the map. I hope this doesn't happen with Aubrey, because he's a whole different animal as far as a field goal kicker. Whereas I remember when I was growing up, anybody was kicking over 50-yarders, you were a damn good field goal kicker. And with him, it feels like a 50-yarder is a normal kick. Like a 35-yard kick, a 50-yard kick is like a normal kick. That's like a 35-yard kick. You feel me? And when you're hitting 60, it's almost like Dallas fans are looking at it like it's damn near automatic when he goes to that damn, gets on the field. And with 64-yarder, a lot of us were off. I mean, let's keep it real. We were probably all feeling confident like he's going to make this, because he's already made, a 65-yarder last year. Made a 64 this year. 60s are nothing. 50s are nothing. So I haven't seen a guy like that in a very long time kick deep, accurate field goals like that. So I would think you got to pay him. So let's talk about this defense right quick as I get ready to get off here. The run game, like I said, was shut down but the Giants' pass game was crazy. But through 2 games, you had Saquon Barkley, didn't do anything, 18 carries, 60 yards. You had the big run by the backup over there, Shipley, but he didn't do anything besides the long run. So obviously you want to stop the long runs. Linebacker got to get better, but there was better linebacker play across the board, especially with Kenneth Murray. He was in that backfield, reading the plays, instinctively seeing the plays. The awareness was there. That's the biggest problem you had with Kenneth Murray, was his awareness and his instincts. being a step late or overrunning the play, running back breaks through the gaps, gets a big game. We didn't see that game, and if he can play like that all year because he has the athletic ability, nobody questioned that with the athletic ability. We were just questioning the instincts, the awareness. And Sanborn is not that athlete, but he has the mind. So get that athletic side there. I still like to see Maris, but what is what it is. Damone Clark, I mean, I don't get hyped over Damone Clark, but he's not playing bad football. I still like to see Maris over him. I think he's just more of a physicality threat. But Damone Clark, to his credit, is playing more physical football. That front, Kenny Clark, what can you say about him? He had a sack yesterday. I feel like his presence on the defensive line has made everybody better. Solly's playing good. I think that, Osa, I think that front in the middle, like I said, Scatterboo had one big game. They were non-existent in the run game. Philly didn't really run on Dallas. If you look at the run game and the stat-wise, it looks like Dallas is bottom of the barrel. They're like in the 20s in the run game. Teams only average, I believe, 4 yards a carry on them. But when you had a Jalen Hurts that was scrambling everywhere, it spikes the run numbers, right? Russell Wilson had a couple big scrambles. That's the thing you want to look at because we know the defense plays high zone most of the time. Eberflus has been known as a zone guy. He comes from the Ron Marinelli tree. Ron Marinelli was known as a zone guy, right? Cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. Those were the covers that Marinelli played. He made that cover 2 really famous because that front 7 pressure or the front 4 pressure. He had the front 4 pressure so he could play in that zone all day. Now, I understand why Eberflus is playing zone. You just lost Bland for a few weeks. Kyer Elam, he not playing the greatest. I believe he's given up, I think, the most yards in the NFL, passing-wise, 232, I believe. So he's going through it right now. Gave up some big plays yesterday. So I can understand he was already a zone guy, heavy zone guy, Eberflus. But when you got these guys that are hurt, Diggs is just coming back, and he went through it a little bit as well. Just seems like there's always a communication factor on the back end between Hooker, Diggs, Dono. Obviously, Elam is new, but it just seems like there's always communication issues on that back end on those deep plays, and there's no and we keep seeing Dono on these pass plays where the receiver is consistently getting behind him on the defense. And if you're the safety and you're playing a cover 2, cover 4, there's no way, even if you're playing in the zone concept, your cornerback is hedging out. Your safety has to be able to react. And it looks like those guys that are playing in the slot, your safeties are concentrating on them too long, biting on it, and then they're biting on that, and boom, it's going over the top on them. That's too late of a reaction. You're taking too long to get back, and it's boom, just what was happening. And we've seen that too many times with Donovan Wilson, and he's a captain. I don't know. I don't know if he gets benched. I don't know if Wanye Thomas, who we've been clamoring to see, because I don't think Marquise Bell's that guy in the coverage. I think Wanye is, but he must not be the guy that obviously you know what the Cowboys need in draft, right? Everybody's been talking about Caleb Downs. You need a different type safety to cover the field, and that's what Dallas doesn't have. They don't have a safety that can really has a wide range. You don't have that, and that's a bad thing. And teams are going to continue to exploit it unless they get better. So the Cowboys just signed Clooney. And I feel like they're probably looking at this game and saying, you need to put pressure. If we're playing 90% zone, I think he played like damn near 100% zone on the plays, like 95% zone this last game. I got a stat here that I was looking at. John Oney played. Shout out to him. He always good with the stats over here, but I was pulling up a stat from John Oney about the blitzing that Dallas does better when they do. Through 2 weeks, Dallas has the 7th lowest blitz rate, but the 8th best pressure rate and 4th highest pass rush production when blitzing. So basically, when you blitz, you don't have to blitz all the time. I'm not in the NFL. I don't coach in the NFL, but when you blitz a little bit more, looks like they're a better team. Now, You got Clooney, so I think they're going to see how that really mixes. I'd like to see Houston get some more snaps. Sam Williams been non-existent. Dante Fowler, where are you? You said you were the guy. Not hating, but that's what you said. We need point. And if you're playing heavy zone, that front four's got to get pressure, and it's not getting the pressure, so you got a Russell Wilson sitting back there, and that's going to happen. So, Cowboys came with the win. They're headed to Chicago. I'm going to try to see if we get this thing popping. So, don't want to talk too much about that matchup. We'll talk about it during the week. I think we're going to start doing this Wednesdays, and I got a quick announcement. I don't know if y'all remember when we first started this thing, I had a guy named Producer G. And we did a lot of shows. I mean, this is Silver and Blue Nation. We were doing the damn thing. And we rocked it for a while. But, you know, G did his thing. Ran out of space right quick. But no, got a reunion. Me and Producer G, we're talking about getting a new show in the works. So we're going to get that production back popping. And we'll see again, the reunion. Y'all seen groups do that damn thing, be so successful. And, you know, things happen. Life happens. And then you go your separate ways. But then it comes back full circles, and that's what is about to go down right here. So me and myself, Producer G, are getting back on this. We're going to figure it out. We're in cahoots talking right now as far as the day and how we're going to pop these shows. But we're definitely going to get back in the fold. And it looks like it might be Wednesdays. So Wednesday is probably the best day because that's the midweek. You can talk about the week of the game and also your next matchup coming. So be ready for that. Myself, Producer G, back in the fold. Back in the fold. Back in the fold. So, you know the production going to be hot. You know this going to be turned. So make sure you tune in again. Big Game James, man. We in these streets. We about to be back in them real streets, though. Check it out. Big Game James, Producer G. We about to be back at it. Let's get it, man.